Okay. So we are starting in child's pose because I want to do just kind of a slow and easy flow to get us started. So as always, for all of this, feel free to take a break whenever you need to, take any modifications, and especially as we get started and get moving kind of quickly today as compared to normal, I just want you to give yourself and your body that kind of leeway to keep a bend in the knees or keep a little less pressure through the wrists, or take that break if you need to find a little bit different of a range of motion. What I say doesn't have to be the end all be all. You have to do what's right for your body in that moment. So taking that second to find that child's pose, sink a little bit deeper into it with a nice big exhale, letting the lower back release and relax a little bit here, letting maybe the forehead come down to the mat. And then I invite you, as we get started in this child's pose, to take a couple of moments and find a range of motion that feels good, or sink a little deeper into this. So maybe taking the knees a little wider than you might normally, or walking those hands side to side, finding that nice big stretch through the side of the body. Or maybe it feels good, maybe your upper body's a little sore today. So bending at the elbows and bringing the hands to the shoulders for a little bit of a tricep stretch. And just taking a couple of moments here to find your breath, find your center, and again, give yourself that space, give your scan of the body so that you know where you can give yourself that leeway and that extra little bit of time to get warmed up this morning. So taking just a couple of nice deep, or this evening, I know what time of day it is, good. Taking a couple of nice deep breaths here in this child's pose, and we will get moving in just a couple of moments. Taking that scan. Notice where those points of tension are. See if you can let them release and relax a little bit here. And we're going to make a transition from this child's pose out into our low cobra. So I want you to just go ahead and lift the torso up, maybe pull the hands in and a little bit wider. And then as you shift the hips forward, bring those knees together, and then bring the hips and the torso down towards the floor. Now from here, I want us to start in our low cobra for just a moment. So place those elbows on the mat right in front of you, open up through the chest, lift up through the head if it feels good, lifting the chin just slightly. And then as you've taken a couple of breaths and a couple of moments in this, then if it feels good, go ahead and plant those palms and press up to that just next level, just into our full cobra position here. So feet are still planted, thighs are still on the floor. We're not quite in that up dog. But again, if that lift of the chin feels good, opening up there, taking a moment for your back to adjust. And we're just going to find this as a little bit of a flow from here. So we're just going to move between our child's pose and our cobra, any of those options that feels good for you. So shifting those hips back towards the heels, letting the lower back release, and then I want you to take this at your own pace. So maybe an exhale takes you back, and an inhale takes you forward for that cobra stretch, or maybe you find a couple of deep breaths in either of those positions. Taking this at your own pace, taking this at the pace that feels right for you, for your back, for your knees, for your arms, and noticing how it feels to flow back and forth between these two poses as we get going here. Giving me about 3 more nice deep breaths. So whether you're moving with your breath or you're taking that little pause, taking about 3 more here. And when you finish that last one, we're going to go ahead and meet at hands and knees. So bringing those hips right over top of the knees, adjusting so that the wrists are either right under the shoulders or just slightly out in front for a little less pressure on them. Let's get right into our cat and cow here. So with that inhale, pressing the belly towards the floor, lifting the chest and the hips. With that exhale, rounding the spine out towards the ceiling, tucking the chin in towards the chest and the pelvis underneath. Once again, go ahead and move a couple of times here at your own pace, kind of getting it going in and out, getting that spinal range of motion going. Give me 3 more nice deep breaths in this cat and cow. When you finish that third, just bring that spine back to that nice neutral position. We're going to do one spinal twist in each direction, so we'll find a hold for these this time. So right here, I want you to take that right hand, take it up towards the ceiling, find that nice big spinal twist up, and then as you exhale, pull that hand underneath, thread the needle, place the shoulder on the floor, and give it that nice spinal twist here. Now we'll take about 3 breaths here. So if you want to keep the hand where it is, that's fine. If you want to take it out long, or if you want to find that half bind, you've got about 2 more nice deep breaths here, just in this easy spinal twist. That left hand opening up through the chest, pulling it up, and then with that exhale, take it down, thread the needle, place that shoulder on the floor. Once again, about 3 breaths in this. So you can take that arm out long, you can find that half bind, or you can leave it right where it was. Taking about 1 more nice deep breath here. Next exhale releases, and that inhale brings us back up to hands and knees. Now, from here, we're going to take this time and we're going to press it up into our downward facing dog. So give yourself that leeway, give yourself that bend in those knees, but go ahead and curl those toes under, hips go up and back. We'll take a couple moments in this. So pedaling out the heels, giving yourself that bend through the knees if you need it. Taking your time, bringing your ears down between the biceps for a nice big stretch of the spine. Finding your breath once again, finding those 2 long lines from heels to hips and from wrists to shoulders. All right, we're going to find a little 3-legged dog on each side. So I want you to take that right foot, take it up and back, nice big stretch, as high as you can while keeping those toes pointed towards the ground. Next exhale just places that right foot down next to the left. Same thing other side. Inhale to press the left foot up, keep the toes pointed towards the ground, nice big stretch. Next exhale places the left down next to the right, 1 time on each side once again. Right foot goes up and back, 3-legged dog, nice big stretch. Exhale brings that foot back down, and 1 more time on that left side, bringing it up and back, taking that nice stretch there, and then an exhale to go ahead and place that downward back in that downward facing dog. From here, we're going to find 1 more 3-legged dog on that right side. So go ahead and press that foot up and back, and then bend that left knee, sweep that right foot forward, and plant it down into our lunge. Now we're going to take it right from here into a nice easy stretch. So bring that back knee down, let the top of that left foot meet the mat. We'll start off here with just a little forward to backward flow. So again, at your own pace. Our exhale presses us forward. Our inhale presses those hips backwards, lengthens that front leg, toes point up. Hands can be out for support or towards the toes for a little deeper stretch. Take a couple times in each direction here, finding a little bit deeper of a stretch with each time that you change directions. Keeping it going just like that. Good, and find me 2 more nice deep breaths, so twice more in each direction, and at the end we will meet in that low lunge. So taking it back, forward into that low lunge. From here, we're going to find a spinal twist. So whenever you get there, press those hips forward, keep that left hand planted, open up through that right arm to find that nice big spinal twist here, stacking shoulders on top of shoulder. All right, so from here, we're not even going to take it all the way up into our crescent for this flow, but I do just want to lift the back knee off. So if you can keep that right hand up, go ahead and do that. Curl the left toes under. If you need the support of the right hand, feel free to bring it to the floor of the knee, and then just lift that left knee up off the floor, just taking that second to press a little deeper into that hip flexor stretch. Our next exhale brings that right hand back down. We're back in that lunge with that left knee off the ground, and then let's take that right foot back to meet the left downward facing dog. Back into that nice little bit of leeway, a little bit of stretch. We've got our 3-legged dog twice on each side once again. So right foot up and back, toes point towards the ground, nice big stretch. Exhale places it down next to the left. Left side, same thing. Inhale up and back, nice big stretch. Exhale, plants it down. One more time on each side, just like that. Right foot up and back, three-legged dog, and then place it down. Same thing, left side, up and back, three-legged dog, and then place it down next to the right. Now, once more, we've got one more of those. This time, we're going up with our left foot up and back, three-legged dog, bend that right knee, sweep the left foot forward into our lunge, set that right knee down, top of the foot meets the mat. We've got our little forward to backward flow. So left foot is forward, we're sinking that right hip flexor towards the ground, and then we're shifting those hips backwards, lifting those front toes, and take that flow once again at your own kind of pace here, finding that nice stretch in either direction. Awesome. Give me 3 more nice deep breaths on this side. About 3 more times in either direction. And after that third, pressing forward back into that low lunge. As soon as you get there, that right hand plants, that left arm opens into our spinal twist. All right, from here, if you've got that balance, you can keep that left hand up. If you need to bring that left hand down, feel free, curl that right toe under, lift the knee. We've got that little bit deeper of a stretch through that right hip flexor, sinking those hips down. And then that next exhale brings that left hand down to the floor outside that left foot. And we're going to take the left foot back to meet the right, downward facing dog. Now from here, we're going to go back to the beginning, but we're going to take a little bit of time out of each of those. So we are actually going to take it right down to our child's pose very briefly. Set the knees down wide, set the hips back towards the heels. That next inhale takes us right out of this and forward into our cobra. So press those hips forward, bring the knees together. If you need to, press the chest up. Nice big stretch to the front side body. From here, downward facing dog, curl those toes under, hips go up and back. Three-legged dog, once on each side before we get going here. So right foot up and back, nice big stretch. Inhale, exhale, plant that right foot down. Same thing other side. Left foot up and back, toe points down, and then nice and easy, go ahead and set it down. We've got our low lunge next, so right foot up and back, three-legged dog, bend that left knee, sweep that right foot forward into that lunge. Set the left knee down, top of the foot meets the mat. Briefly, one time in each direction, our exhale presses those hips forward into that low lunge. Our inhale shifts us back into that hamstring stretch, nice and long through that right leg. Exhale presses us forward, spinal twist. Left hand stays down, right arm opens up. When you get there, you can keep it up nice and long, or you can use it for support. Curl the left toe under, lift the knee, sink those hips a little bit deeper. Next exhale pulls that right hand back down to the mat. Right foot goes back to meet the left, downward facing dog. Three-legged dog, once on each side. Right foot goes up and back, toes point towards the ground. Nice little stretch. Exhale brings it back down. Same thing one more time on that left. Bring it up and back and set it down nice and easy. We are going to repeat that left side. Three-legged dog, foot goes up and back. Bend that right knee. Sweep that left foot forward into that low lunge. Set that right knee down. Nice exhale, shifts those hips forward. Inhale shifts them back. Nice hamstring stretch. Exhale shifts us forward, plants that right hand, opens that left arm, spinal twist. When you have your balance, curl that right toe under, lift the knee, sink into that lunge with that right knee off of the floor. Next exhale brings that left hand down to the mat outside of the left foot. Take that left foot back to meet the right, downward facing dog. Next exhale very briefly brings us back to that child's pose. Set those knees down wide, set those hips back towards the heels. Next inhale presses the hips forward. Cobra or low cobra. Curl those toes over, press those hips up and back, downward facing dog. Three-legged dog, one time on each side, right foot up and back, nice stretch. Set that foot down, left foot up and back, nice stretch. Set that foot down. This time we bring it into our lunge, right foot up and back, bend that left knee, sweep that right foot forward, plant it down, let that back knee meet the mat. Exhale to shift those hips forward. Inhale to shift them back, nice hamstring stretch. Exhale to shift us forward. Plant that left hand, open up through the right. Spinal twist. Curl that left toe under, lift that knee. Exhale, bring the right hand down to the mat. Take that right foot back to meet the left, downward facing dog. Three-legged dog, right foot up and back. Nice little stretch. Plant that foot down. Left foot up and back. Little stretch. Three-legged dog. Bring that foot down just briefly to tap, and then one more time, up and back, three-legged dog. Bend that right knee. Sweep that left foot forward. Plant it down. Let that right knee meet the mat. Top of the foot meets the mat. Exhale, shifts those hips forward. Inhale, shifts those hips backwards. Exhale brings us back, forward. Plant that right hand. Open up through the left. Stack those shoulders on top of each other. Curl that right toe under. Lift the knee. Exhale, bring that left hand down to the mat. Left foot goes back to meet the right, downward facing dog. One more time through on each side. Nice and easy. Set those knees down. Sit those hips back towards the heels. Inhale to shift the hips forward into that cobra or low cobra. Arms can be long or we can be down on the elbows. From here, downward facing dog. Curl the toes under. Hips go up and back. Three-legged dog just once on each side. Right foot up and back. Nice little stretch. Plant that foot down. Same thing other side. Left foot up and back. Little stretch. Plant that foot down. Here we go into our lunge. Right foot up and back. Three-legged dog. Bend that left knee. Sweep that right foot forward into that low lunge. When you get there, that left knee comes down. Top of the foot meets the mat. Exhale, shift the hips forward. Inhale, shift the hips backwards. Lengthen that front knee. Exhale, bring it forward. Plant that left hand. Open up through the right arm. Nice and long. Curl that left toe under. Lift the knee. Exhale, brings that right hand down. Left or right foot goes back to meet the left, downward facing dog. Last time here on this second side. Right foot up and back. Three-legged dog. Little stretch. Exhale, plants it down next to the left. Left foot up and back. Three-legged dog. Little stretch. Exhale brings it back down to tap just briefly before we take it back up. One more time. Three-legged dog with that left. Bend that right knee, sweep the left foot forward, plant it down. Right knee meets the mat, top of the foot meets the mat. Exhale, shift those hips forward. Inhale, shift those hips backwards. Exhale, shift it forward, plant that right hand, open up through the left. Stack the shoulders on top of each other. When you get there, curl the right toe under. Lift the knee. Exhale to bring the left hand down. Left foot goes back to meet the right, downward facing dog. All right, I want to just take a really brief break in our child's pose. So nice and easy, feel free to set those knees down and those hips back. If you get there and you're still feeling pretty good and you want to take our break into that downward facing dog, you're welcome to press those hips up and back once again and take that rest period in a downward facing dog. If you feel good here for a moment, feel free to walk those hands side to side, give those wrists a little bit of a break. Now, as always, we are going to do our low flow in this next one. But if you are not so inclined to do it as many times as we do it or at all, you're always welcome to take it in this nice, easy child's pose or just pause in our downward facing dog. So please don't be afraid to listen to what your body has to tell you today. And we're going to take it back up into that downward facing dog. So go ahead and lift the hips, curl the toes under, press the hips up and back. We're going right into that low flow. So again, you can pause and take this as a little bit longer of a rest, or you can bring it on with me. Exhale, floats those shoulders out over those wrists into our high push-up plank. From the toes or the knees, we lower the chest to the floor. We inhale to press the chest up into our cobra or upward facing dog. And we exhale to turn the toes over and press the hips up and back, downward facing dog. So everyone's right here. We're pausing from there. We're going to take it into our forward fold. So bend those knees, step or jump those feet forward to meet the hands. From here, we're going to inhale and roll it all the way up to our extended mountain. So rolling it up to nice and tall. Those arms come up overhead. We reach up towards the ceiling for a big total body stretch. And then pull those palms together, bring them down to heart center. Take it down into our true mountain. So hands come down to your sides. Feet are nice and stable all the way through the bottoms. We're going to take it into our chair next. So as you sit the hips back, sweep the arms up. Nice, stable, sturdy chair position. Finding a little hold here. Take this time. Can you get a little bit deeper into it? This first chair of the day. We're taking this right into our crescent lunge. So I want you to take that left foot and slide it back. Keep that bend in that right knee and lift the torso. Awesome. Nice work, you guys. We're going to find our twist up next. So pull the palms together down to heart center. Left elbow comes to that right knee. So stack those palms on top of each other. A little spinal twist. Super brief. Next inhale is going to bring us back to that crescent lunge fully here. So back to center. Extend those arms up. Warrior two. Turn the left heel down. Open the arms up in either direction. Peaceful, flip the front palm, inhale, lift it up and back. Exhale, cartwheel it all the way down. Right hand comes down, left heel comes up, left hand comes down. From here, we're gonna take that right foot back to meet the left, downward facing dog. Feel free to take those knees down and take this as our break, or join me in that low flow. Inhale, long spine. Exhale, shoulders come over the wrists, toes or knees be lower through our chaturanga. Inhale, presses the chest up. Cobra or upward facing dog. Exhale, turns the toes over. Hips go up and back. We all meet in that downward facing dog. Once again, we've got our forward fold. Bend those knees, step or jump the feet forward to meet the hands. Rolling all the way up, extended mountain. Take it up nice and slow, vertebrae by vertebrae. Take those arms overhead for a nice total body stretch. Pull the palms together and bring them down to heart center. True mountain pulls those hands down to our sides, and then we've got our chair pose next. So inhale, sweep those arms up, sit those hips back. Once again, trying to get a little bit deeper into this, trying to get your spine just a little bit longer. This time our crescent comes with that right foot taking it back. So slide that right foot back, lift the chest, crescent lunge here. Find your balance, pull the palms together, bring them down to heart center, spinal twist, right elbow to that left knee. Stack the palms on top of each other. Next inhale brings us back up to centered and lengthens those arms, taking us to our warrior two next. Turn that right heel down, open those arms up nice and long. Next inhale finds our peaceful, flip the front palm, lift it up and back. Exhale, cartwheels us all the way down, left hand, right heel. Step the left foot back to meet the right, downward facing dog. Once again, here's your opportunity for that rest in child's pose or downward facing dog. Or here we go in that flow. Exhale, flips the shoulders out over the wrists, toes or knees we lower through chaturanga. Keep the elbows close. Inhale, press the chest up, cobra or up dog. Exhale, turn the toes over. Everyone presses those hips up and back, downward facing dog. Bend those knees, step or jump it forward to meet the hands, forward fold. Next inhale rolls us all the way up, extended mountain. Take it vertebrae by vertebrae, one at a time until you get to the top for that total body stretch. Take those arms up, take those fingertips up, pull the palms together, bring them down to heart center. True mountain pulls the hands down to our sides. Chair pose, presses those arms up, sits those hips back. Back into that crescent lunge, left foot takes it back, nice and long, bend that right knee, lift the chest. Awesome job, you guys. Spinal twist, pull the palms together, bring them down to heart center, pull the left elbow to the right knee. Now, if you'd like a little challenge here, I challenge you to float the left elbow off of the right knee, so you're using your core to keep you up, and then extend the left elbow or that left arm towards that wall that your chest is facing. So you're using your core, you're using that spinal twist, your fingertips are long, pull the palms back together if you found that to get back to that crescent lunge. That was a tough one. Arms come up nice and long. Warrior two, left heel turns down, arms open up. Peaceful, reverse it, flip the front, lift it up and back. Exhale, cartwheels us all the way down. Right hand, left heel. Right foot steps back to meet the left, downward facing dog. Low flow or rest position. Exhale, floats the shoulders out over the wrists. High to low through chaturanga, toes or knees. Inhale, presses the chest up, up dog or cobra. Exhale, turns the toes over. Everyone presses those hips up and back, downward facing dog. Bend those knees, step or jump the feet forward to meet the hands, forward fold. Inhale rolls us all the way up, extended mountain. Arms come overhead, nice big total body stretch. Pull the palms together, bring them down to a heart center. Take the hands down to your sides. Chair pose next, sweep the arms up, sit the hips back. Take that little pause. Crescent lunge, take that right foot back. Bending that left knee, lifting the chest. Spinal twist here, pull those palms together, bring them down to heart center. Stacking palm on top of palm, spinal twist once again. You can release that left or that right elbow off of that left knee, and you can extend that right arm long for that little bit of an extra challenge. So a little core work there, a little balance work. Pull those palms together. If you released it, lift it up back into that crescent lunge, arms extend high. Warrior two, turn the right heel down, open the arms up nice and long. Nice work, guys. Flip that front palm, lift it up and back, peaceful warrior. Exhale, cartwheels us all the way down, left hand, right heel, step the left foot back to meet the right, downward facing dog. Once again, option for that rest pose or option for our low flow. Inhale, presses those hips up and back. Exhale, floats the shoulders out over the wrists. High to low through chaturanga. Inhale, presses the chest up, cobra up dog. Exhale, turns the toes over. Everyone brings those hips up and back, downward facing. Once again, let's keep it going. Bend those knees, step or jump those feet forward to meet the hands. Inhale, rolls us all the way up, extended mountain. Taking your time, rolling it vertebrae by vertebrae. When you get to the top, extending those arms, finding that total body, nice big torso stretch. Pull the palms together, bring them down to heart center. Pull those palms so that they're down by the sides. Chair pose, sink those hips back. Keep that chest nice and long. Take those arms up nice and high. Awesome work, you guys. Take that left leg, slide it back into that crescent lunge, lift the chest. Pull the palms together, bring them down to heart center. Left elbow to that right knee, stacking palm on top of palm. Once again, maybe lift that elbow off of that knee, maybe extend that left arm so that it's long, challenging that twist. And then if you have that, bring it back to the palms meeting and then back to center, crescent lunge, extend those arms up. Warrior two, turn the left heel down, open those arms, bend that right knee. Reverse it, flip the front palm, lift it up and back. Peaceful. Exhale, cartwheels us down. Right hand, left heel. Right foot steps back to meet the left, downward facing dog. One more time through before a little break. So if you need this as your rest, take it here. Exhale, floats the shoulders out over the wrists. High to low through chaturanga. Inhale, presses the chest up. Exhale, turns the toes over. Everyone brings those hips up and back. Like I said last time before that break, bend those knees, step or jump the feet forward to meet the hands. Forward, hold. Roll it all the way up, extended mountain. Arms come up, nice big stretch. Pull the palms together, bring them down to heart center. Let the arms extend down to your sides. Chair pose, sweep those arms up, sit those hips back. Last time on this crescent here before our rest, slide that right foot back, keep that left knee bent, lift the chest, awesome. Pull the palms together, down to heart center, right elbow to that left knee, spinal twist. Trying to stack those palms. Once again, your challenge here is to lift that right elbow just slightly off of that left knee. If you'd like to extend that right arm, you can. Awesome work, awesome work. Stay strong here. If you found that extension, pull the palms together, bring it back to center, crescent lunge, extend those arms up nice and long. And if those legs are working, open it up, warrior two, right now, arms open up. Flip that front palm, lift it up and back, peaceful. Exhale, cartwheels is all the way down. Left hand, right heel. Step that left foot back to meet the right, downward facing dog. Final time through our low flow before our break here. So if you would like to take that break right now, feel free to find that pose. If not, we're shifting the shoulders out over those wrists. Lower high to low, chaturanga. Chest comes up. Exhale, turns the toes over. Hips go up and back, downward facing dog. From here, go ahead and choose your rest pose. Now, if downward dog is a great rest pose, feel free to stay there. If dolphin is a great rest pose, feel free to take it. If child pose sounds awesome right now, set those knees down wide, set those hips back towards the heels. Taking any type of rest pose that sounds good for your body. At this time, go back. And we'll take about 5 or 6 nice deep breaths. Now is a great opportunity if you'd like some water. If your house is as warm as mine is right now, welcome to grab a little bit of water. I'm definitely gonna do awesome. Okay. From here, if it feels good, I want you to pull those, well, if you're not in child's pose, go ahead and bring it down. Pull those knees wide, hips back towards the heels. And if it feels good, go ahead and walk those hands over to the right side of that mat. Finding that nice big stretch through the left side of the body. And if you found that and it felt good, go ahead and walk them through center over to the other direction. Find that nice stretch through the right side of the body. And if you found that, go ahead and walk those hands over to center. We're going to adjust up into our puppy pose. So the only difference between child's pose and puppy pose is that we're going to take the hips high so that they're over the knees, and then we're still going to walk those arms out nice and long. So it's kind of like you were at hands and knees. You just walk those hands out as if you were going to sit back into your child's pose, but keep the hips off the heels. From here, we're going to find our spinal twist once again. So I want you to take that right hand. I want you to thread it down underneath in between the left hand and the knee, and place that right shoulder down onto the floor. So we're kind of back in this nice, easy spinal twist. Same options as before. You can keep that left arm out long. You can take it up towards the ceiling, bring it around behind the back for that half bind. Open up through those shoulders if it feels good. If that doesn't feel good, feel free to keep that arm out nice and long towards the end of the mat. All right, if you found that half bind, that next exhale, extend that left arm, glance it down, take us back to that puppy right in center. Those arms are extended, those hips are high. That stretches through the chest. Spinal twist opposite direction. Take that left hand underneath, thread it through, place the shoulder down. Option to keep the arm long, option to find our half bind. Arm comes around behind the back, we open the shoulders. If you found that bind, go ahead and release it. Take that arm long. One more time back through center and into that puppy. Plant those palms. Press the chest down. Find that nice big stretch. Walk those hands in just slightly so that you can curl those toes under and press the hips up and back into our downward facing dog. I'm going to find a couple of quick, easy hip openers. Also, option to flip your dog when we get here. So we'll start off with our three-legged dog with that right foot. I want you to take it up and back. I want you to keep those toes pointed towards the ground. Find that little bit of a stretch. From here, our hip opener will come in on that right side. So I want you to bend that right knee and just open up the knee so that you're opening up the hips towards the right side of your room. So from there, this could be kind of a challenging balance pose for you. Take it at whatever level you need it to be. If you can open up a little further, that's awesome. If you need it to still be a little bit closed, that's also totally fine. Option here to completely flip your dog. So you can let that right leg come all the way down on the other side. That right arm comes up. That left leg stays long. Point those toes. The right arm comes over the head. Now, this is a challenging one for that left hand. So if you need to, take that break. Let those hips come down. When you're ready, we're taking it back into our downward facing dog, three-legged dog. So that right hand comes down, flipping that right foot back up, three-legged dog briefly, and then place that foot down. Now, we're going to take a brief break in our downward facing dog. If your wrist is bothering you a little bit because of that, I invite you to set the knees down, give them 2 or 3 rolls in either direction. If your wrists feel awesome today, then keep it right here in that downward facing dog, maybe pedaling those heels out, taking a second here. All right, if you found those wrist circles, go ahead and bring it back up into that downward facing dog, three-legged dog, other side. Left foot goes up and back. When you get there, bend that left knee, open up through that left hip, find that nice deep stretch, as deep as you can go. So if you can open a little further and your balance is a little bit better, that's awesome. If you need to keep it here, just to keep it safe, don't want you to feel unstable. Option here to flip your dog, taking that left leg all the way over. Right leg stays extended, left arm extends over the head. Nice big stretch through the side of the body. Once again, if that right hand's feeling a little weak, set those hips down, keep it safe. When you're ready, we're taking it back to that three-legged dog. Left hand comes all the way over, left foot goes up, hips go up and back, and then go ahead and set that left foot down. One more time, drop those knees nice and wide, set those hips back towards the heels, child's pose. From here, I want you to go ahead and walk those hands in and sit it up nice and tall. Now I'm just going to adjust to face you, but I am going to stay on the knees. However, you're welcome to kick the hips to one side and find comfortable seated. We're just going to do a little bit of upper body work before we have to switch the meetings. And I've got one more flow that's kind of an in-between flow for our last 20 minutes today. So our upper body flow, we're just going to start off with a lateral stretch. Big inhale brings the arms out and up. Go ahead and take that right hand down to the mat and that left arm up over top. Now, if your hips are down on the mat because you're in a cross-leg position, Maybe you bring the elbow all the way down, find a little deeper of a stretch if you're still up on those knees like I am. I can't quite get my elbow down. That's a little bit over intense for me. That's okay. Our next inhale is going to press us off of that right hand through center and over in that other direction. Left hand comes down, right arm comes up over top. Super big stretch here. Once again, if you're a little lower towards the ground, maybe that elbow meets. If you're like me, don't overextend if you don't need to here. One more time each direction. Big inhale through center. Go ahead over to that first side. Big stretch. And one more time through center. Over to that second side. Big stretch. All right, inhale, go ahead and take it back up to center. Nice long arms. From here, I want you to go ahead and interlace those fingers, bring the hands down to your chest, press the palms forward, round out the spine towards that opposite wall. We're going to find another big stretch. Palms come up towards the ceiling, nice and long. Exhale, circles the arms down and around. Now you can either interlace those hands behind the back, you can press the palms towards each other, or if you're seated lower, you can place them on the floor. Inhale to open up through the chest, pull the shoulder blades together, nice big stretch here. Big exhale, go ahead and release. We're going to roll out the head and the neck. So once again, if you're comfortable on the knees and you're still here, feel free to stay here. Again, if you want to kick those hips down, if it's getting a little uncomfortable, feel free. Let that chin drop to the chest. And then we're just going to roll the head right ear to right shoulder, and then back down through center, left ear to left shoulder. A couple times in each direction before we find our hold to finish out here. Next time that right ear comes towards that right shoulder, I want you to go ahead and hold it there. So right ear to that right shoulder, we're nice and long through the left side of the neck. Then I want you to take that left hand and I want you to just bring it slightly around behind the back. So we're opening up a little bit more through the left side of the neck, finding that nice big trap stretch, one of those muscles that we're working a lot in our downward facing dog and our low flow. Next exhale, go ahead and release that arm, bring that head back through center. Last time that left ear comes to that left shoulder, that right hand comes around behind the back. Finding that nice big trap stretch. And that next exhale releases that hand, brings that head and the neck back down to center. And our inhale brings that spine back to nice and long. All right. We'll sit up there. So as usual, we will just take our first couple of moments in this second meeting. Oh, my knees just cracked, to kind of get recentered and resettled. So since we didn't do it at the beginning of that first meeting, I just want to take these couple of moments to allow you to come back into your breath, to allow you to take that scan of the body once again that we started with in our child's pose. Notice how you're feeling a little bit different than you might have when we started the last one. Notice how there are some spaces that you can still give yourself a little bit of leeway on. You're still feeling a little bit tight or not your 100% today, and that's totally okay. As we kind of recenter and get refocused here, I want to invite you to choose a range of motion that will feel good for you this evening. Maybe something that you noticed felt particularly good as we were moving through, a spinal twist, a lateral bend, that little upper body flow. If there's not one in particular that sounds like it might feel particularly good, then feel free to try out a couple, see which one works. We'll take about 5 or 6 nice deep breaths in any range of motion that you find. Maybe it's that seated cat and cow. Maybe it's that lateral stretch. Whatever works for you here, I want you to really listen to your body and take those ranges of motion that feel particularly good for you. Got about 3 more nice deep breaths here, keeping it going. And go ahead and take one final nice deep inhale and exhale. Feel free to even out if you needed, if you had a 2-sided range of motion. And then when you're finished there, just go ahead and bring it back to center. We'll just do a really brief trip through all of those ranges of motion before we get moving in our flow for this last 20 minutes. So first thing we're going to do is our seated cat and cow. So go ahead and place those hands right on the knees. Our exhale pulls that spine towards that back wall, tucks the chin in towards the chest. Our inhale presses the chest forward, rounds out the spine towards the front wall. Kind of just finding a flow with your breath. We've only got about 3 breaths in this seated cat-cow just to get us moving, get our spine going once again. 2 more. Nice deep breaths forward and backward. When you finish that last one, go ahead and bring that spine back to that nice neutral center position. Spinal twist is next. Go ahead and inhale for that long spine. Exhale over in one direction. Opposite hand comes around to the outside of that knee. Same side hand comes to behind. And go ahead and flow a few times either direction. So that inhale brings us through center. That exhale brings us to that second side. Once again, we'll take just a couple of deep breaths here. So keeping it moving, getting our spine ready to go once again. Awesome. Give me 2 more nice deep breaths. When you finish those last 2, or when you have evened up those directions, bringing it back to center, that nice long spine. And the final thing that we're going to do as we finish out this little bit of a warm-up period is I just want us to find a couple of shoulder rolls. So just choose a direction, bring the shoulders up towards the ears, and then either down and back or down and forward, giving yourself a little bit of time and space to work through the shoulders. They do a lot of hard work for us in these classes, especially in that downward facing dog and that low flow. Go ahead and change directions. So if you're going backwards, bring them forwards. If you were going forwards, bring them backwards. A couple of nice big rolls here in that second direction. Give them a nice little thank you. Thanks for supporting me in that downward facing dog, especially in that hip flexor stretch that we did to finish out. One more big inhale to pull the shoulders up towards the ears. And then a big exhale, go ahead and release. All right, awesome work. Now that we have said thank you, we'll put them back to work again. Let's bring it over into our downward facing dog. So when you're ready, take that transition, however you need to move to get there, planting those palms, curling those toes under, and pressing those hips up and back. Now, my legs got a little bit tight, so I'm going to take a second here to pedal out my heels. You feel free to stay right in center with that down dog, maybe pedal out the heels, maybe alternate pressing those up onto those toes, and then both heels down and in. Taking about 2 more nice deep breaths to just kind of find this downward facing dog once again. Alrighty, from here, we're gonna nice and easy set just that left knee down. So just bring that left knee down to the mat, and then I want you to kick that left foot out to the side of the mat, let the inside of that right foot meet, and open up that right arm into our super modified side plank here. So left hand is down, right leg is out long, right arm is up. Now this is just our first step. We will have a way to take this up a notch, don't you worry. So we're just gonna transition it right back into our downward facing dog. Take that right hand down, curl those right toes under, and then press it up into downward facing dog. That left foot is gonna continue to move, so press it up, 3-legged dog, and then we're gonna sweep it forward into pigeon. So bringing it underneath the body, placing that shin down, sitting the hips down, let the top of that right foot meet the mat. Now from here, your option is to stay in this pigeon for 2 breaths, or to kick that right foot up and find that quad stretch, pulling that right hand around to catch it. Now if your quads are a little bit tight like mine are, this might not seem achievable right now, that's okay. Keep it right in that pigeon where you were. Give me 1 more nice deep breath in either of those. If you have that foot kicked up behind, nice and gently, go ahead and set it down. Now from here, we're gonna roll onto that left hip. We're gonna keep that left leg curled in. So I'm just a little bit to the side. This right leg is gonna come all the way around, and we're gonna go into our cow facing pose. So all of my weight comes onto my left hip, my right foot's gonna come all the way around, and then I'm actually gonna cross it all the way over. So I'm gonna cross my right leg over my right ankle, over my left knee. So I'm kind of in this little bit of a twisted position. From here, I want you to take that left arm up nice and tall towards the ceiling, and then we're gonna spinal twist. Bring the left elbow around to the outside of the right knee, open up through the shoulders, bring the right hand around behind. Taking just a moment in this spinal twist. Next exhale brings us back to center. Release that elbow, release those arms, and then we're gonna take it all the way around into our pigeon. So the right leg swings all the way back around, those hips sit down, nice and even in between. Plant those palms, curl that right toe under, lift the knee, press that foot up and back, three-legged dog. Don't set it down next to the right yet. We're going to swing it forward one more time into our lunge position. Don't set that back knee down this time, though. We're taking it right into our crescent lunge. Inhale, sweep those arms up. Now, this one, our crescent lunge, is the most challenging this is going to get. So I want you to really think about lengthening that right leg, about sinking into that left knee, about lifting the chest and opening up through those arms. Taking just another moment here. Nice big inhale. Can you lengthen a little bit more? Exhale, pull those palms back down to the mat. Take that left foot back to meet the right, downward facing dog. All right, awesome job. We are going to take that all on the other side. So first step, going to be that side plank, nice and easy. Set that right knee down. Let the foot kick out to the side. Inside of the left foot meets the mat. Left arm opens up into this super modified side plank. Taking just a second here, think about lengthening. Once again, our next time through, we'll make this a little more challenging. Exhale, take that left hand down, pull it back into that downward facing dog, curl the left toes under, set that right foot down. Three-legged dog, right foot goes up and back. Pigeon here, bring that right shin to meet the mat, sink down into those hips. And then once again, you've got this pigeon as your option, or for that deeper stretch, you can pull that left foot up, you can reach around with that left arm, and you can find that nice big quad stretch. Once again, if this side's a little different than the first, it feels a little more or less intense, feel free to take whatever kind of modification here you need to. Don't quite grab it, keep the leg long, whatever works. One more big inhale and exhale. If you have that foot kicked up behind, nice and easy, let it release down to the mat. Plant those palms, and then we're just going to sink our weight onto our right side. So bring that right hip down, circle that left leg all the way around, step it over top of that right knee. Right arm goes up this time, spinal twist, take that right elbow to the outside of the left knee, open up into that twist for our cow facing pose. Awesome. Go ahead and release that elbow with that exhale. Bring the torso back to center. Left leg swings all the way back around into that pigeon. So taking it around, sinking those hips down. When you get there, and take your time if that transition was a little weird, go ahead and plant those hands, curl the left toes under, lift the knee, take the right foot up and back, three-legged dog. This will take to our crescent lunge. Bend that left knee, sweep that right foot forward, plant it down, ankle right underneath that knee. When you have your balance, sweep it up. Once again, this is the most challenging this one will get, so make it as challenging as you can. Tense through the core, sink into that right knee, lengthen that left leg, lift that torso up. Give me one more big inhale. Exhale, bring those palms down. Take that right foot back to meet the left, downward facing dog. All right, now option to choose that side plank that we did the first time, so you can let that left knee just come down and kick it out to the side. Just take it up a notch. Give me that three-legged dog with that left leg. From here, we're going to bring the left foot forward as if we're going to take it into our lunge, but instead, we're going to cross it over that right ankle or under that right ankle. So our legs are crossed here in our downward facing dog. From here, the inside of that right foot comes down, that right heel comes down. We open up into that full side plank, so the right arm comes open. Those legs are still crossed, a little uncomfortable. If you're in it, that's okay. Give me one more big inhale in that side plank, either of those options. And that next exhale brings that right hand down, curls those right toes under. Wherever you had that left leg, go ahead and pull it back to that downward facing dog. Left foot goes up and back, three-legged dog. We bring it forward into our pigeon. A little shorter this time, sink those hips down. If you want to pull that foot up, you can for just a moment here. Give me one more big inhale in that pigeon. Exhale, releases it. If you have that foot up behind, sink your weight onto your left hip. Circle that right leg all the way around. Plant it on the other side of that knee. Left arm goes up, spinal twist. Open up the chest towards that side wall. Next exhale, releases that arm, releases the torso. Right leg releases from that left knee and circles all the way back around. We're back in that pigeon. Plant those hands when you get there. Curl the right toes under. Three-legged dog. Left foot goes up and back as those hips lift. Crescent lunge here. Bend that right knee. Sweep the left foot forward. Plant it down. Find your balance. Sweep the arms up. Crescent lunge. Again, if you can make this a little more challenging, feel free to do so. Sink into it a little deeper. Lift the torso a little higher. One more big inhale, and our exhale brings those palms down to the mat. Left foot goes back to meet the right, downward facing dog. All right, side plank on that second side. Once again, that right knee can drop and that foot can kick out to the side, or we've got that three-legged dog, up and back. Bring that knee forward in front of that left leg, cross it over it, set that left heel down, legs are crossed, open that left arm up. Once again, this is a challenging one. If you're in it, that's awesome. If you needed that modification, that's totally fine. Next exhale brings us back to center. Set that left hand down, curl those left toes under wherever that right leg was. Go ahead and bring it back into our downward facing dog pigeon. Next, right foot up and back. Sweep that foot forward, plant the shin down, sink those hips. Once again, we've got 2 breaths here. So briefly, if you'd like, you can pull that left foot up for that quad stretch. Giving me one more nice big inhale. If you have that foot nice and easy, go ahead and release. Let your weight come over onto your right hip. Circle that left leg all the way around. Step that foot over top. Right arm goes up nice and long. Spinal twist to the left side. We'll open up the shoulders here. Next exhale releases the torso, releases the elbow, circles that left leg all the way back around. Plant those palms. When you get there, curl the left toe under. Lift those hips. Take that right foot up and back, three-legged dog. Crescent lunge. Bend that left knee. Sweep that right foot forward. Plant the foot down. When you're ready, sweep those arms up. Sink into that right knee. Lift the torso just a little higher. Give me one more nice deep breath. Big exhale to bring those hands down to the mat. Take that right foot back to meet the left, downward facing dog. All right, so we've got about 5 minutes left in our practice today, so we're going to do a super abbreviated version of that. We're going to move pretty quickly. If there's anything that you'd just like to skip entirely, you can stay in this downward facing dog. Side plank is first. Either drop that left knee, turn the foot to the side, or cross that left ankle over top of or underneath of that right leg. Go ahead and set that right heel down, open up that right arm. Really brief side plank, big inhale. Exhale brings us back to that downward facing dog. Lift that left foot. All right, here we go. Pigeon, left foot up and back. Sweep that left leg forward, plant the shin, sit the hips down. Once again, if you want that brief grab, take it for just a moment. Big inhale. Big exhale releases that nice and easy. If you have it from here, sink it onto your left leg. Circle the right leg all the way around. Step it over top. Right arm goes up nice and long. Spinal twist. Oh, I did that backwards. Left arm. My bad. Next exhale brings us back to center from either direction of that twist that you found. Shift your weight over, circle that right leg around, plant those palms, curl the right toe under, left foot up and back, three-legged dog. Brief crescent, sweep the left foot forward, plant the foot down. When you're there, inhale, sweep it up, crescent. Exhale to sink into that knee a little further. Inhale to lift the torso one more time. Exhale to bring those palms down to the mat. Left foot goes back to meet the right, downward facing dog. This is our final time through, you guys. Stick with me here. We've got our side plank on that first side. Either that right knee drops or that right ankle crosses under the left. That left heel comes down, that left arm opens up into our side plank or our modified side plank. Big inhale. Exhale brings that palm back down. Lifts it up into our downward facing dog. Pigeon on this side, right foot up and back. Sweep that right shin forward, place it onto that mat. Sink those hips down. If you've got that grab, feel free to take that foot. Big inhale. If you have it nice and easy, you let it meet the mat once again. Sink over to that right side. Circle that left leg all the way around. Step it outside of that right knee. All right, this is the right side this time. So right arm goes up. We're going to take it around, open up through the shoulders towards that left wall. If you had the other twist backwards and you'd like to do this twist the other direction, feel free to take it. Next exhale releases us back to center. Circles that left leg all the way around. Final time here. Back into that pigeon. Plant those hands, curl the left toe under, right foot up and back, three-legged dog. Final crescent lunge, sweep the right foot forward, plant it down. When you're ready, sweep those arms up. One more exhale, sinks that knee a little bit deeper. One more inhale, lifts the chest a little more. And that last exhale brings those palms down. That right foot goes back to meet the left, downward facing dog. From here, nice and easy, I want you to walk those feet up to those hands into our forward fold. Up at the top of that mat, find that forward fold. We've got 3 breaths. We're going to find our halfway lift. Inhale, halfway lift, flat back, long spine. Exhale, fold it forward. 2 more. Inhale, halfway lift, flat back, long spine. Exhale, fold it forward. Last time. Inhale, halfway lift, flat back, long spine. Exhale, fold it forward. And this time we're going to roll all the way up to our extended mountain. Inhale, bring it all the way up, vertebrae by vertebrae. And with those arms up overhead. Pull the palms together and down to heart center. All right, you guys. This brings us to the end of our practice today. Thank you, as always, so much for sharing your Monday evening with me. I missed seeing you guys last week, so I'm so happy to be back again this week. The light in me honors the light in you, bowing as we say, namaste.